In this video we're going to have a go at fixing this Neff dishwasher. The problem with this dishwasher is it doesn't shut off, so if I turn this on now, the pumps shouldn't come on, but they do. You can hear that. Now sometimes this problem will manifest itself with the red tap symbol there as well. Now in our particular case the problem is linked to the float safety switch, which is this item here, and basically when the machine is turned on, the power is on, and you lift that up, you should hear the pumps coming on, but when you drop it back down the pumps should turn off. And what's happening with this machine is that's getting stuck up and not falling back down. Now sometimes the reason for that is that you get a whole load of gunk and grease caught under there. So if you have that problem, the first thing to do is to lift that up, and either with a spray gun or a chopstick or something that's not too sharp, see if you can scrape out any grease. If that doesn't fix the problem and you're desperate to do some dishwashing, sometimes just by tapping that on the top will turn the machine off and get rid of the problem temporarily. What we're going to do is we're actually going to swap that part out, but before we do so, let's just have a look at the new part. At the end of this video I will show you where we got these parts from, but that part basically consists of a rubber diaphragm up here and this on a rod, and at the bottom of the rod is this micro switch here. Now sometimes the problem occurs because this micro switch breaks. You can sometimes hear the clicking of the micro switch when you lift that up. If you're not hearing that clicking, there's a good chance that the micro switch might be broken. Sometimes the little joining rods here bend or get broken. Now I'm not sure what the problem with this is. When you buy the kit, you can either just buy the micro switch if you're confident that's what the problem is, or you can buy the whole kit. So we've got the whole kit here. It's not expensive, about £25. To get to that switch, we're going to have to pull the dishwasher out. So there's going to be some brackets around the side here. We're going to have to take the bottom kickboard out. Now this dishwasher has a few other problems as well, which we're going to fix at the same time. The annoying problem is that the door now flops down like that, and inside here there's a series of springs and ropes. The springs break at the end, the brackets break, and sometimes these ropes break, and you may have a situation where one breaks on one side and then you continue to use the door, and then before you know it the other one breaks because there's too much pressure on it. So we're going to have a go at replacing those as well. The other thing we're going to do, the part hasn't arrived yet, is try and replace this manky old seal here. You can see it's really dirty and it gathers dirt and grease underneath it, so we'll have a go at cleaning that as well. Before you start, it's a good idea to switch the mains power off up there on the dishwasher, and possibly even the water, although I'm not going to be getting involved with undoing any plumbing fittings, I hope. What we need to do is take out the kickboard. That should just be clipped on, and you'll find a whole load of dirt and junk underneath there, and if you're lucky, some coins. Your kickboard might be different, but ours is just held on with a series of these clips clipped to the legs. Now, having taken the kickboard off, it's not obvious how you get to that float safety switch because there's a metal panel on here. But what I can see here is the broken cord here, so at least we know what the culprit there is. The dishwasher is attached at the top here with these two screws, or 4 screws, there's 2 on either side. So we're going to undo those. We're going to take the 2 top screws out. There's 1 on each side. Should allow us to pull the dishwasher out. Next, we're going to take off all the outside screws. I notice one here is actually missing. Once again, these are Torx screws. When you take these screws out, these ones at the back here are shorter screws, and the ones at the front here are longer screws, like that. Just remember to put them in the right way when you come to put the whole thing back together. Once you've taken the 6 screws out, 6 screws on this machine out, you should be able to take off the front door panel. So take a closer look at this seal here. You can see it's no longer sitting flush, and it's in quite a manky state. So we're replacing that. So we're now able to pull this dishwasher out. We just need to make sure, have a look underneath, make sure we're going to pull any of the electrical or plumbing lines tight. We're going to undo these 2 screws down here. So if you were just repairing the broken string here, you need to pull the dishwasher all the way out so you can get to this back screw just there. Then when you've taken that off, you should be able to take this panel off here, having already undone the screw at the bottom here. Back screw is another Torx screw like that. Got that screw off, this will just wiggle out like so. Once you've got that panel off, it's easy to see what the problem is. So we're going to take this off. We're just going to align this one first. Make sure we put it on the right way. Take this off. It should just hook off like so. Make sure you put it down the right way. Hook this one back on like so. So the cross is facing towards your face. The flat side is at the back. The cross is towards your face. In, you thread the rope in first, and then this will just follow behind it like so. And then you just need to close the door. And when you thread this rope back, just take a close look of how the rope threads. It threads on the outside and then on the inside. And don't forget to replace both ropes, because if one's broken, the other one will probably break at some stage in a not too distant future. Bother replacing the springs because there's nothing wrong with that. Measure, I'm going to put a dab of oil on there. If you've got grease, that'd be even better. Don't bother oiling or greasing these. You can also potentially put a tiny little dab on there, just to make sure that when that is moving like that, the metal doesn't just wear out that bracket. This particular machine, the Neff, and also known as a Bosch, you need to turn the machine on its side to access that float safety switch, because you need to access it from underneath. And you want to lay it on this side here. When you turn it on its side, there's no danger that you're going to snag or tighten those pipes there. When you turn the dishwasher up, you will get some water coming out of it, so make sure that you've got a towel underneath it, and also make sure that it's turned off so there's no danger of getting water across the electrical contacts. Now, before you can get this metal plate here off, you need to turn this screw so that the slot is vertical, or if you've got it on the side so it's horizontal, so it's orientated like that. And this is basically just clipped on. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, with some plastic tabs here. Get this off, you're going to put a screwdriver under there, just so that that clears that tab, and the same again at the bottom down here. Just a screwdriver under there, twist it up and pull it out. There we go. Now remember, there's an earth wire connected here, so don't pull this all the way off. There you have it. It looks much scarier than it actually is. We're just going to take the opportunity to mop up this water inside the machine. This is the bit here that we're going to be replacing. First of all, you take off this polystyrene float here. The micro switch lives in here, so we're just going to very carefully unplug that, like so. That's the micro switch there. Now this plastic casing here is held on by a screw right at the back there, that black Torx screw. So we're going to undo that and replace the whole. It's impossible to take that screw out without dropping it. With a magnet on the screw, you'll end up not dropping it. Clip the lever from the end just by pushing it that way, and that should allow us to slide this out. The only problem is the micro switch is not working. You could just at this point slide out the micro switch, but I'm going to take the whole thing out so I can show you. If you wedge a screwdriver between all of those teeth, you'll be able to take that out like so, and then this should just come all the way out like that. Here's the piece we removed. You can see it's charred and blackened there. Just need to slide the micro switch in like that so that the biggest prong is on the top. Just clicks into place, held in by these little tabs on either side. And once again, you could just hear the clicking sound there. And on this one here, nothing. So we're just going to screw that back in. We're actually going to change the rod as well. You have to do that from inside the machine. Change this here, this float here, which you can't pull it straight out because it's got this kind of Chinese finger trap here. You need to squeeze these two tabs in here and here so that it can get through there. So you just put your fingers in, squeeze. Once it's in, you should just be able to push that through like so. When you take this out, you'll find it's completely gunked up like that. And that can be one of the reasons that this is not sitting back down flat. This one, I think, is beyond hope, and we're just going to chuck it. Take the opportunity to clean all the way around there. It's quite filthy. The new float will just push straight in like so. New piece, and the switch slides over, hopefully without snagging any of those wires. Get to put the screw back in. This just plugs back in like so. And then we just need to connect the lever here. Just kick this lever in there like so. Make sure it clicks in properly, and then this bit here will just click in like so. Done that, don't forget to put this over here. The purpose of this here is if your dishwasher has a leak, what would happen is you'd have water filling up in here, and that water would then push this up, and that would activate the float switch. When it comes to putting this metal panel back on, rather counterintuitively, you need to actually thread it through the legs on this side first. So with this right at the feet like that, you'll find there's enough room to squeeze this bottom bit in, and then those tabs will just slot into there, and this whole thing should just click in place like so. Same at the bottom, like that. And don't forget to lock this here when you've finished, like so. It's worth mentioning, if I was doing a full refurb on this washing machine, what I'd do is I'd take this here out and clean out all of that gunk there and that grease, because that will be responsible for if your dishes are not washing properly consistently. It's because you've got a whole load of gunk in here often. This is a common source of leak here as well. If you're leaking in there, which that doesn't look like it's in there particularly well, but if you're leaking in there, you can just either replace the O-ring, which is the best thing to do, or just fill that up with some waterproof sealant. Just before we put our dishwasher back, I'm going to clean up underneath here. You'll almost certainly find a load of dust and gunk, and the good way to do it is just with a sharp blade like that. What you'll find is if you try and clean that up with a green sponge or something like that, it'll clog really quickly, and then you'll spend ages running it under warm water to try and unplug it. It's much quicker to use a sharp knife in the first instance. We're ready to turn the washing machine upright again. When you do, try not to put the full weight of the machine on these plastic legs, because there is a danger that you can snap them off. So try and lift the machine up as you do it, and then drop it down on all three legs. We've just arrived in the post is this lower seal, which fits in there, along there, and ours is completely, as you can see, manked up, creased, etc. Now to change that seal, we're going to have to take this door panel off, being careful not to pull the wires. Now we're going to have to take this off again to replace that lower door seal, and the way to do it is just to pull this with your hand. It's not that strong a spring, and that will just lift off. Just make a careful note of how it hooks back on and how it was threaded through. You can see on this side how that rope is wearing thinner there, so that will eventually snap just like the other one. It's better to preempt it and change it before you unhook that there. The second one you unhook, make sure you've got some support for this door, otherwise it's going to come flying down. I'm going to take these screws here out and take this upper metal panel out. Fortunately, disaster has struck, and that screw does not want to come out. We could try heating that with a blowtorch, or we might be able to change this seal with just that still in there, because what you don't want to do is end up rounding that off. Just gently lifting that up, and you should be able to lift this out. And try doing the same on the other side. Could be wrong, but I believe some of these seals that you buy will have the plastic bits attached, and some will not. The one I bought was a cheaper version and just comes with the rubber seal, so you need to remember to take this metal strip here and the plastic bits off. This seal needs to fold back on itself, so you need to, when you fit it, make sure that these grooves are facing upwards. It's slightly counterintuitive, and your old seal may be so knackered when you take it out that you can't actually see that. And secondly, make sure that you put the metal rod on here before you put the whole thing back together. This metal strip on, make sure you get this little piece of seal here on the outside, and remember that this is going to be facing up like so. So this little flap goes on the outside all the way along. Make sure it's tucked in all the way along. Before you fit the seal, you're going to want to clean out this channel here. As you can see, it's got an awful lot of built up grease in there, and the best way to do it is with a blunt knife so that you don't risk damaging these wires. Put the metal rod on. The next thing to do is actually hook this lip here first and then bend it back on itself. When you've pushed that down all the way along, you can also feel underneath, make sure it's press down, you can then bend this back and slot it into one of the hinges. Now remember, the hinge sits on the outside. When you put this hinge in, these edges here are razor sharp and you can easily cut yourself, which I just did, so just be extra careful of messing about, cursing, etc. That is how that lower seal will look, and that's how it'll look at the front. Sealing, you just need to close this and then reattach these here. Now this is the old one, so we're just going to put a new one in, and then just stretch that with your hand. Put these side panels back on. Now there are two screws holding the panels on. One is slightly longer than the other, and the longer screw is the one that goes at the back here. To put this back together is to thread this screw through the hole up here without breaking the trim. Don't try and force the screw through the trim that way. You can get a screwdriver through the trim, but you can't get the whole head of the screw through the trim. Really tricky getting that screw in, and my advice would be to just get it in a few threads and then to click this behind it, and then to click that over around here and then tighten it up completely. As I say, don't try and force the screw through the trim at the front, because the head won't fit and you're likely to break the trim. The sides, make sure these clips here are in, and that is all nice and tight. Side panels on, we're just going to push this in, but not all the way. That will just stop it tilting forward, and it's a good time now to clean all of this grease and gunk off the door. We're going to put this door back on. We're just going to put something heavy on here to weigh it down, because otherwise the springs will just want to take it back up. And we've got one short screw here and one long screw here at the top. The long screws go straight through here into the wood behind. The short screws are just screwing the metal to here. Before we screw the dishwasher in connectors to the cabinets, we're just going to test it, make sure everything works. You'll notice as part of that job how dirty and greasy the dishwasher is, and one way of stopping it getting like that is, say, once a month running it on the full long hour-and-a-half cycle with no dishes in it. What a lot of people do, ourselves included, is we just run the 20-minute cycle every time, and that does tend to build up more grease. The dishwasher is clean just as it should, but unfortunately it's not draining, which probably means the impeller down there is stuck. When you lift that up, that should activate the pump, but sometimes you get little bits of grime and grot, and I imagine there's so much grease and stuff when I was cleaning this out that maybe we jammed up the impeller. So we're just going to take all this water out and then unjam it. You just use a sponge to get that water out, the last bit of water, and then you're just going to click this white thing here out. It's just levers forward like so, lifts out that way. Let's see what horrors lurk below. Whatever it was that's jamming that, it's now unjammed, because when we lift the float safety valve here, you can see that now turns, which means it will drain. Well, we ran the machine again, it did exactly the same thing, had water left in it, so I've undone the overflow and sucked as hard as I could, and lo and behold, whilst it was quite disgusting, we found the problem. Third time lucky, Grace? Is it all drained out?
Yep.
Do you know how horrible it was sucking that pipe to unblock it?
I don't want to know.
Doors fixed. New seal. You need to know the model of your dishwasher. It'll be engraved here. Sometimes that can be quite difficult to read, but this particular machine was made both by Neff and by Bosch. We bought that lower rubber seal from these guys here, fast for spares. We ordered it on Friday and it arrived on Monday. Super quick time, £14.50 including VAT and delivery. We got the float switch and the door springs from these guys here. Shop for spares. It arrived the day after we ordered it. We ordered it on the 22nd, it arrived on the 23rd. Amazing. £34.55 for the two of those delivered. That includes VAT. To attempt this job, get yourself some Spongex sponges. Don't buy the cheap ones. These ones are a million times better. And also get yourself some decent kitchen roll. This is the Blitz stuff. Costs a lot more than the other kitchen roll, but it's much thicker, lasts a lot longer, because you will find that there's an awful lot of gunk and grease in your dishwasher, and if you're using cheap kitchen roll, cheap sponges, it will take you twice as long to clean it all out.